Okay. It's very fall looking, isn't it? I was noticing that before when I not quite 9:30. What's wrong? Yeah, right. Uh, 204. 204. Yeah, pretty much. Something like that. Well, let's get some of these people going in the tube. Let's see. Yeah, give about 5 minutes, maybe not even, and then we'll go across. I'll let them know. Okay. I guess we'll go across. Okay. What's that? What do you mean? They go out in groups. Yeah. What's that? Good. How you doing? Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, that I'm not sure. My talents only go so far. What little there are. That's quite the crowd. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. I'm sorry, I was laughing at the piece that's running on CBS right now with Gilda Radner doing Barbara Walters. Baba Wawa. Muffled, but I hear you. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I hear you. You were clearer in microwave. And our friends there on Facebook Live, good morning to you on this early Sunday morning. I'm Dan Rice, Lars Andresen, he's your pilot this morning, and we're watching the activity here at the Tunnel to Towers 5K that's taking place right now. And you can see the thousands and thousands of people lined up here on Richard Street, going through Red Hook, Brooklyn, going up towards the Battery Tunnel. Just a few minutes ago, we saw the first wave of runners go into the Battery Tunnel. And we can still see the thousands of people lined up along Richard Street here, turning around the park and working their way back towards the IKEA here in Brooklyn. Good morning, Bill. Morning, Barbara. See Betty joining us there as well. So we can see the second wave of runners going into the tunnel now as they bring the next wave up to the start line. And kind of a neat sight here as you see them lining up at the start-finish line. And the crowd just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger as we go down Richard Street here. So quite the awesome sight to see so many people out here on a Sunday morning. Good morning, John and Dilly and Natalie, Deborah, Peggy Sue. Anthony, I think we're looking at around 30,000 down here as well. It's I don't have the exact numbers, but you can see by this lineup here. It's not far off that number. Morning, Donna Marie and Rashad. Again, we'll show you the latest grouping waiting to leave the start line here outside the Battery Tunnel. Again, this is Richard Street for those of you who aren't familiar with Brooklyn, where they all corral and wait their turn. Thank you, Dan. Good morning to you. Good morning, Kelvin. We'll come over here to Coffee Park. Coffee, I believe. You can see folks in the park and around the park. We go underneath the chopper here. We can still see people trickling in. Looks like the last of our folks making their way up from the IKEA parking lot. I believe that's this. Whoops. Spun the camera the wrong way. My bad there, folks. I believe that's the security checkpoint that they're going through. What do you think, Lars? Think it's time to go across the river? When we come up to the Battery, I'm just going to pull the camera up for the city shot. Unless I already blew it. Oh, Adriana, good morning to you. Thank you very much for that. I'd say you guys are the best for getting up in this more time in the morning and joining us here on the Facebook stream. So again, what they'll do is you see them going around the top of the Battery Tunnel. They'll come back around the side street there. We go into the tunnel itself. I'm going to do this shot. I'm going to zoom out, or I'm going to pull out and then go across the river, Lars. Once we leave the Battery Tunnel entrance there, we go across the river. Heiko, good morning to you. A little later in the day for you, I'm assuming. So then they'll go out of the battery tunnel. You'll see in a few minutes, and they'll go up West Street over to Liberty, go around the Esplanade for a few minutes, come back on Warren, and then down back on the West Street for the finish line. I just will caution everybody, when we come to this side of the battery tunnel, we tend to lose our cell data. So if I don't answer your questions or say hi to you, that's the reason why. Thank you, Robert. And for those of you unfamiliar with Lower Manhattan, this is the Manhattan entrance or exit to the battery tunnel, and we see our runners coming out of the battery. So they'll take the ramp that comes around the battery out to West Street. Herbie, good morning to you. Let's see. Some cheerleaders there cheering everybody on. Oh yeah, Dan, those guys are moving fast. I will say that. Freddie, hello to you. Thank you, Robert. Watch Shooters here for a few minutes. Donna Marie, it's the battery because it goes back to the founding of the island down here, where they used to have a battery to protect the island. So Battery Park is where they used to put the cannons and all that good stuff. And the tunnel goes from Brooklyn into the Battery Park area. Yeah. Yeah, Wilson, trust me. Dan will have to find a way to crash the barbecue that's down here right now. Why don't we follow these people around, Lars? We'll go over towards the tower, I guess. Does that work for you, sir? No, they end up, they come back down this street here that I'm looking at. I think that's Wilson. And they make a right onto West Street. And they should end over there. And microwave 232. 232. And of course, we're here on West Street now, where you can see the finish line is set up. See folks coming in strong in there at the end. Give you perspective on where that finish line is on the one side of the building. You got the Freedom Tower, tower number 1 of the World Trade Center complex right there. I think we got to slide in a little bit more if you can. Gotcha. We're getting the exhaust. Because, well, I guess you can't go up north and shoot back, huh? Uh, a nice big group of people coming out of the Battery Tunnel now, coming into Manhattan. We do, Robert. We try our best. Thank you very much. Thank you, Carmen. We think the city looks pretty nice here on the Sunday morning. Again, you can just see more of those people, the thousands, the tens of thousands of people who are doing the 5K that starts in Brooklyn and ends up here in Manhattan. And again, they come out of the plaza there for the Battery Tunnel and make their way north on West Street. You see people holding the signs there. Doing the hand slapping as they go along. One of these days we're going to put Lars's commentary on the feed as well, so everybody knows why I'm laughing all the time. And you can see some of the runners there in their turnout gear. And then they'll make their left here, heading out towards the Esplanade and the Hudson River. Jose in Mexico, good morning to you. Again, if you're just joining us, we're watching the Tunnel of Towers 5K here in New York City. Started in Brooklyn, made its way over here to Manhattan. You can see the Esplanade that runs along the Hudson River. And they'll work their way up to Warren Street, where they'll make the right and come back over to West Street. Of course, we see number 1 World Trade Center. See the reflecting pool from the original number 1 World Trade Center, the bottom of your picture there. And when they come back to West Street, they'll make the right. They'll see large tower number 1 as they cross the finish line. And Dan, I'm with you. I wouldn't have made it past the tunnel. Absolutely. Oh, full gear? No. No way. Those guys are awesome. Forget that. I couldn't do that. Ah, Mike in Scotland. Good afternoon to you. Again, you have the World Trade Center there in your picture. Want to do a couple of shots around the tower? Mix it up a little bit. Ooh, you know what? Get the fireboat going here as they're running. I know, right? That's very funny. Thank you, Dan. And again, you're seeing the fireboat there with the red, white, and blue water streams coming out. And up on the Esplanade, we see some more of the runners coming through. That rising sun's washing everything out. That's a bummer. 233. 232 now. 232. Awesome. Oh, that's a nice shot you're building there, Lars. I like that. Gigi, I'm not sure I said good morning to you. Glad to see you're with us. Jose Slayer, Patrick, Susan, Diana, good morning to all of you. You're all looking at the Steven Siller tunnel to towers. Going on to talk for a living, I guess. Tunnel to Towers 5K. We're on the New York side. You can see the One World Trade Center tower on the left side. You got the fireboat off on the Hudson River there, welcoming the runners as they come around the Battery Esplanade. You can see the runners on the bottom left side of your screen making the turn towards the waterfront as they come around the east side of the number 1 World Trade Center tower. Good morning, Carol. Juan, good morning to you. Gene, Bill, Barbara, everybody joining us this morning. Nice to see. Of course, as Lars comes around. Oops, I go past it. Oh, there it is. My bad. This is where they all end up afterwards. And microwave 221. 221 as we come around. No, there is a little something afterwards, like a barbecue. I think so. Juan, you're welcome. Again, it's our pleasure to do these things. Sunshine pointing out the Oculus before. We'll get that in a second. I just want to get another shot of that fireboat as we come around the World Trade Center #1 tower. It is a nice shot. Hello, James, in Winter Springs, Florida. Christine in Argentina, it looks like. Or from Argentina, at least. And we'll come around the tower. Enjoy watching people putting that final push into the finish line there. Now we saw before the Oculus mentioned there, and if you're familiar with the World Trade Center complex, that white bony structure down there in the center of your picture, that is a transportation hub and a mall known as the Oculus. Yeah, towers 3 and 4 to the right of that. Tower #1 right in the front side of your picture. 7 right behind it. And of course the 2 reflecting pools in the museum, the centerpiece of the complex. Bottom left, that's where Tower 1 stood, and top right, that's where Tower 2 stood. And those would be the footprints of the 2 buildings that once stood at those locations. There are all the folks who have completed the 5K that started out there in Brooklyn, over there by the Battery, or through the Battery Tunnel. You see some of the firefighters in their turnout gear there, and their black jackets with the yellow reflective tape on them. Chopper to the desk. Oh, I got Jeff and Matt checking in. Jeff Crianza, Matt Ward. Glad to see you guys are up and about this morning. Chopper microwave, do you copy? Okay, Lars. It is 10:15. So I think at this point we want to do a couple of shots of the statue with maybe the tower behind it or something, and then we'll call it. Okay, folks, so we're going to start moving our way down towards the statue. We're going to do a couple of more shots, and then start making our way back to Linden. Again, we can see our fireboat. And the thing is, we started watching this at about 9:30, and we're going to just zip the camera around real quick. Go past Governor's Island there for a minute and zoom back in, where you can see people are still entering the Battery Tunnel. I believe this should be the last of the waves of people who are going through. Oh, but then I was wrong. And you can still see all these people who haven't even entered the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel yet. So obviously quite the group of people who are making their way from Brooklyn through the Battery Tunnel. And they'll end up over here where we just were. We're going to bounce you around here a little bit and bring you over to the Statue of Liberty. I overshot the Statue of Liberty. Clearly it's Sunday morning. Thank you, Dan. Very kind of you. Sunshine, you're welcome. Thank you again for joining us. See the visitors coming to Liberty Island this morning. Nice and early. Dan, I'll be honest, you probably would have gotten farther than me. You can see people inside the crown. Got the airplane circling counterclockwise, right? 9 o'clock. Yeah, a little bit, Mike. We like to look in the windows of the statue's crown. Yeah, it's nice, Mike, when we have the different lighting on the statue. I know we're all used to, at least when I'm flying, being here at night when the sun's going down. So having the sun bathe the front side of the statue is kind of a nice change. Okay, Lars, I think we're good. Would you agree, sir? Thank you, Jill. Good morning to you. Chopper to desk or microwave room. We're going to make our turn back towards Linden now. Thank you, Carol. Okay, folks, so you're following along on Facebook with us. We're going to start making our way back towards Linden. Again, you're welcome to stay with us as long as the signal stays up. Hi, Cindy. I'm not sure I said hi to you yet this morning. Again, we had sporadic cell data availability up here, so I think I missed a lot of conversations. But again, I appreciate everybody taking time out of their morning to ride along with us and watch the awesome amount of people who turned out for this year's Tunnel to Towers run. Lydia, glad we could bring back some childhood memories from you, or for you, I should say. Catherine checking in from Ridge. Good morning to you. Look at the teardrop here in Bayonne. Quite a few people out there this morning. I don't remember seeing a lot of people out there. Joe, good morning to you. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, Gene, I'm looking at that cruise ship myself going. It would be nice to kind of take a little cruise out of here. I think that's a German cruise line, too. I'm not very familiar with it. I've seen this here a couple of times. I call it the little emoji face over here on the smokestack. Like I said, Dan, it's always a pleasure. Just doing what I love. Thank you, Margaret. Carmine in Oak Ridge, New Jersey, thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. Hope the rest of your day is good as well. Going to bring you over here by the Kill Van Kull that leads you between Bayonne, New Jersey on the right and Staten Island on the left. That's it, Mike Thompson Cruises. I know that's a European company, if I remember correctly. It's they have many operations throughout Europe in different countries. I think it's like a travel agency, Mike, or a travel-like agency, if I remember correctly. Mike, as our friend in Scotland, he would probably know much better than me. Thank you, Gigi. We always try, Carol. Thank you. Maritza, thank you again. Very kind of you. Glad you enjoyed the views. You see the Bayonne Bridge going off at the right side of your picture as we come across Staten Island. Thank you, Christine. Off in a distance there across the Newark Bay is Elizabeth, New Jersey. You'll see Newark Airport creep in behind the port of Newark and Elizabeth there. See the control tower there at Newark Liberty. Well, Nancy, thank you for joining us this morning. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Jimmy. Kind words there. Frank enjoying the views from of New York from Palm Beach. Thank you, Kathy. Same to you. See, I knew Mike would know. Johnny checking in. He's from Carteret. We see the new Gulfles Bridge over there on the right side. We'll zoom into the new Gulfles. Most of the old structure, I think actually all the old structure is down at this point. I think even the pillars are gone from the, yeah. Yep, a couple of pillars back there in the distance there from the original structure. And that's the new cable stay bridges that they built to replace the original Gulfles Bridge. Flowing nice and free this morning. Good morning to you, Gerald, up there in Westbury. Oswaldo, good to see you this morning. I know, right? They're branching out. Well, again, thank you, Jimmy. And Jen, sorry that you had to fly that way, so I'm glad we can at least give you a more coherent flight anyway. Nazarene, thank you. Microwave, if you're still seeing us, it's well, obviously you're still seeing us. We're showing 242. And thank you for your help this morning, Microwave. We're going to keep it up until we land, so we're just going to talk to Facebook for a little bit longer, if you don't mind. Thank you, Noreen. So what should be nice about this morning is if you fly with us during the week and you know how we do this, that's our airport in Linden, New Jersey right there. And normally when I'm flying in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, you see the sun going down from this shot because we're pointing to the west. But since it's behind us going up this morning, what we'll do is we'll put our cockpit camera on. And you can see Lars up there, the controls of Chopper 2. And we're going to land with Lars. So you can see what it looks like from the inside of the helicopter as he approaches the airport and comes down to the runway. Again, I can't thank everybody enough for joining us this morning on our Facebook watch stream. Sights of the Tunnel to Towers 5K this morning. And again, if you like what you see here,